taking the first map of Clubhouse, 7-3.
Me and you, just match made in hell.
Complete polar opposites.
Yeah.
Well, let's kick off Villa, and Elevate are going to kick things off with a Capital ban, and INTZ going to lead up with a Berg ban. Interesting.
Wow. We've seen this before, though, on Villa. I'm pretty sure it was Liquid that went for this specific ban. I think it was me and Flurk. We said that we didn't even realize Buck was banned because he wouldn't have done anything anyway with how they were playing. So Buck is like a really weird ban, and the reason why we don't see it is because in the long run, he doesn't really have that much of an impact, even if Buck was there. So, I don't know, I feel it's a bit of a wasted ban. Okay, Jaeger is on the board this time around, so that's a lot better from them.
I think Elevate just want to make this as defender-sided as possible anyway. I think this is Elevate's whole strategy going into this matchup, that they know it's going to be momentum-based on INTZ's side, so they're just going to make their attacker lineups attacker-sided as possible, and then when they start defense, they're just going to make this very defender-sided. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is Villa. This is like the most defender-sided map in the pool.
Yeah, if we look at Orgless versus G2 the other night.
Oh, God.
5-1 splits either side, so that kind of proves the point, doesn't it?
Yeah. The bans were pretty tough to work through in that one, though. But we'll be moving through into an Aviator Games room defense here for Elevate to start off with. Then we can move on to the Bandit. So, pretty solid lineup coming up from Elevate here.
Attackers need to
Did you see the Bandit? That's good.
It's kind of weird that INTZ would be the ones to ban Book, because on Clubhouse, they were the ones who were utilizing Book way more than Elevate were. So, yeah, it's kind of a weird ban. I think maybe there's also an element of you have to ban something, and you don't want to take away too much from your own lineup as well, and because you are saying attack.
Yeah, that's true. There is a no ban option. If you want to roll that way, but we only ever see the no bans in meme matches that teams literally troll in. Bye. AVG now for Elevate, and I see 3 people straight over the trophy statuary, and they're going for an offside hold. Right, this one's risky, because if you are trying to hold this side of the map, you need to be coordinated as a team, big time. The way that the kind of angles work in favor of the attack, especially that main window on Astronomy, it can cut off everything you try and set up for. I do like, though, whenever I see teams go for this strategy, Secret are big fans of doing this, where they would play, Leon and Feral would play over towards Trophy Statuary. They support each other really well. And then they would have, Funkers who stay red stairs, and then Alems who would sit inside of 90, so you have, fallback cover that if you do retreat, somebody's going to be there to give you that support, which I do like to see. But Elevate, they're more kind of geared around, defending everything. The fact that Lev is on red stairs, so they're trying to cover all their bases.
I think it's good as well. Villa isn't really that big of a map, so it's quite easy, especially around the top floor, to kind of rotate around and just cover each other and go for those crossfires. But Duds already with a nade, and it's going to pick up Hell right off the bat. Smoke already off the board from a... Was that below nade coming out from him? It was. Wow. That's an insta pick. That is a huge, maybe even round-winning pick right there.
So, Smoke does mean it gives INTZ a lot more time to kind of work with, but there's a quick refrag from Zion, who he's turned up, I think, quite a lot for them in not only last map, but even the previous series. Remember the play against Lanchados? He was just on one. He was killing everything that came his way. Cypress, another guy to kind of look out for. And, well, INTZ, very basic, very standard study take. So that entire setup that Elevate went for, INTZ want nothing to do with it, and they're going to try and focus on opening up the wall. But there is that bandit who can come over and just start ruining their day.
Well, so Future is going to make sure there's no one in this hallway or behind the shield right now. Yeah, Statue going to be pushing up along with Via next, but Zion just white peeks out and brings up 2 of them. Oh my god, what a play from Zion. As that may have just been round 1 right there for Elevate. It's going to be all down to Vitz and Boar to try and bring this in right now, but this is looking awful for INTZ as they try and push up the main stairs and see how they can exactly recover this. They do see the bandit still playing around the shield and see what he can do there. It's going to go for the reload as Boar comes up with him. Flashbang's going to go out to try and clear this bandit out. He just go for the peek, and that's a triple kill, but no! He does get refragged. It's all down to Boar in a 1v3 to try and bring this in. Drones are going to go out, making sure there's no one who can wide peek him here. He's going to go for the main wall.
So, 1v3. To clutch it out, set your team up nicely. for the remainder of the rounds. The big one always matters. First, it gives whoever wins it the ball in their court. Flashbang gets eaten up by the ADS, know exactly where he's pushing from, and there's the easy cleanup from the remaining members of Elevate. And they take the first round thanks to Zion, who, bit of a rampage there, wasn't he, James?
Just the bandit wide peak, just killed him. Forehead. You know, that I do like that shield kind of setup coming out from Elevate though. They had a very aggressive hold throughout all of that, and Bandit being up this wide ping there, and him getting that double kill, not just round winning, but it also allows the rest of the defenders to rotate back to site and gives that bit of time for them as well. So, I feel like Elevate as well, they're going to again hold this very aggressively when they go to Trophy Statue. Like, I haven't seen many teams, you said about Secret do that as well. I think that other than Secret, there's not many teams that do that kind of hold. But when we see Statutory, we do see a lot of teams holding aggressively onto Aviator.
Which, I don't know if that is like the biggest thing that you can go for, because we very rarely see teams come from Southside. Majority of the pushes is you take bedroom, open up triple wall, and you push in from that side, because it gives you like a physical breachable wall. If you attack from south, you have 2 doorways, and we know what it's like trying to push into a doorway. Doesn't really work, because all it takes is one man trying to group up. I feel as if it kind of does work, though, for this particular bomb site, the way it's kind of laid out. Look how small that B-bomb is. There is nowhere that you can really sit safely and hold a doorway, which is like the only worry you kind of have of that. They will set up for AVG, like we can expect them to do so. So it will give them a little bit more pressure towards this side of the map and can kind of open up some options for room game. Elevate, I wonder if they're going to try and go for the C4s in Kitchen, because they do bring the Valkyrie, and generally we see a Valkyrie camera inside of bedroom. They play below, and then they see for the Thermite as he tries to run over and open up the wall, and that's like the big worry that I feel a lot of teams kind of stress about, is opening up the wall with their Thermite. Well, especially Thermite mains, me being one of them, I know what it's like. I'm not pushing until that kitchen's clear.
Yeah, there is definitely a bit of awkwardness about trying to open up, especially on that end. You are right, there's like Nitros from below and can be a big threat. But generally just like impact tricking Nitros over the wall itself, and yeah, there is a big threat to the Thermite, so they have to make sure that this entire master site is indeed clear. But they also have to make sure that there's like flashbangs and stuff coming over to prevent any impact trick and prevent any of that stuff coming out. But Dud's already going to pick up hell right off the bat. Did he go for some kind of jump out from Astro there?
I think he just spawn picked them from the window.
Attackers have located a bomb.
And, well, it's a trade-off. It's a Legion. No, there's better operators there you could eliminate, like the smoke, or even if you eliminate the bandit, that also helps a lot, because then you have to worry about the bandit trick. Still, INTZ taking their time. They've been a lot more slower in their attacks compared to what Elevate showed us on their clubhouse. Just taking your time. It's very typical of this bomb site specifically, where you need minimal setup and really need to take minimal. That's kind of like the whole thing about Trophy Statue, where you take bedroom, and that's all you need to open up the wall, and then you begin your beachhead, you try and get the picks down. No smokes, though, from INTZ, which could be like another issue for teams that they kind of have to deal with.
Yeah, no, it definitely could be. Claymores are going to go down to make sure that they can gain over that master bedroom control, but things looking pretty good for INTZ so far. Duds is pretty low HP, but they are at a man advantage. Do still have this very aggressive hold coming out from Elevate in the form of Mighty, just holding down to 90. He's going to be taking down the drone. And there's still like a lot of hold coming out from Elevate so far. They're going to make that late rotate, and it looks like Zofia Impact's going to come out from below. Flashbangs do come down as well into Astro. The Astro stairs push should come through, but no one missed Nitro. What is happening with Nitros today? Zion's going to go for the peak anyway, but no, just get caught out by the Thatcher, and that should allow the Thermite to start to go for the push.
They've even lost their smoke in the midst of that. But Mighty and Cypress, they try and double up, and he wins that with a wide swing onto the Thatcher, and even going for another one. What? Cypress, you're crazy! Does pay for it, though, and it leaves a 1v2 now for Mighty to try and clutch this up. I doubt that he'll try and go for the pickup, unless Lev can crawl to him, which he will try and do. So it is then going to be a 2v2, but still in control of INTZ. They have the bomb sites. The fact that VNX is here holding off that B doorway, and Dudsy has to go for the plant. Very little HP, but so is Elevate. They'll try and plant behind A-bomb. VNX will try and give the cover. Nobody from Elevate, though, going for the pounce in. Behind him is where we go, and that should be the lockout. Yes, it will be. Elevate, they scrape on Pi. What an ending right there.
I tell you, Elevate
Scary
is
tail
afraid.
ending. That's what you call that.
They're not scared of anything.
Nope.
They are brave through and through, and they just push. They will not. They will not let you give any control at all, will they? Cypress is an absolute madman. The fact that that wall gets open and he just goes for the mad dash all the way into bathroom, I think. But that's the play, right? Like, if he gets traded there, it's absolutely fine. That's the planter dead, that's the thermite dead. That's that entire kind of master side push gone. Even if he dies, and this is why I tell people, you know, it doesn't matter if you die, as long as you can get traded, it's absolutely fine. I think trades generally tend to go into the favor of defense anyway. So, still very, very fine coming out from Elevate, and
they just really want this win, don't they? They are so hungry for it.
2 core site wins.
You know, it's just
nothing to be unexpected there, but this
a werewolf and a full moon, always hungry.
This is going to be the defining play now from Elevate. If they can hold on to this site, then I think this is
Moonwalk.
Map 1.
Oh, bit of thriller action coming in.
Okay,
let's go.
We have a rehost here. That's unfortunate.
INTZ, they really need to pull this out of the bag. I don't know, man. It's going to be tough for them. Just to have a cabin in the woods or Villa in Tuscany.
You love that Villa in Tuscany. So, it's going to be that kitchen defense, of course, and this is going to be a very, very, very tough one to handle. This is the offsite, obviously, and, well, we'll see exactly what Elevate want to do here. I mean, from how aggressive they've been holding so far, they expect a very heavy vertical hold, which it looks like they've set up quite a lot of stuff upstairs. Maybe even like an Astro side hold, something like that.
Valcam, I'm guessing, probably to be placed down the big tree, because then that gives you a lot of vision towards that side of the map, which is like the atypical area that the attackers try and come from. Knowing Elevate, they're just going to run rampant again. You look at their setup, very aggressive. You see Ella being brought in. There's the Alibi as well, so automatically switching from like a Smoke and a Maestro, being known as very anchor operators, straight in towards the big ones, which we know has so much killing potential. And Cypress actually utilizing that Valkyrie camera he threw out. Get the first opening pick onto the Nomads. The operator that you called for that would help them a lot is gone.
That is unlucky. So we're going to see already a 5v4 develop, and Elevate clearly already seen about how they want to indeed play this defense very, very aggressively. And I got to say that Cypress, he's just on one today. He is crazy. He will just go for every peak that he wants to go for. Valkyrie Cam, however, will be removed. The Thatchers go into the site. See how this statutory push does go down. INTZ running out of time though already. Really, they need to start to get a lot more control than this and a lot earlier if they want to have any kind of success here.
So INTZ, losing their first man, leaves them at a big disadvantage. And whenever one of those operators is there to specifically counter the playstyle of Elevate, it's never going to work wonders. So I feel as if Elevate are just going to force their way into like just more aggressive natures. They're just going to get right into the face of INTZ. I doubt they'll let them out of bedroom. Honestly, the way that INTZ are setting up, it's as if they're just going to try and hold the defenders and just try and push into the bomb site. But that's not going to work, because you're going to need to at least leave like 2 guys upstairs. Still, a 2v2 on site isn't going to work the best for you.
It's interesting that, you know, Drunks has his drone on the hatch, and that's kind of acting as a bit of a flank watch here for the Thermite. Thor should be able to make his way into the site. He's managed to get the wall open. The Splashbangs are going to go into the statutory room. They should be able to get the statue open right now. This is a lot of control for INTZ right now, but Elevate still have control of their own. They still have Astro open, and Lev is going to throw off of there entirely. He's going to try and make his way back to the site. Elevate are killing a lot of time, though, right now.
Look at the pings just coming in. That Alibi provides. And Elevate, again, just aggression is the name of the game. And I don't know, man. I just want to see a little bit more fright from INTZ. But it's just not coming for them. It just really isn't. Like, Elevate are just in the position, primed and ready, just to catch them by surprise. Like, look at this position from hell. It just sprints on in. There's a Scorpion, but there's the refrag. But damage has been done, and look, even the drop, just everything for Elevate. It's, this has to be a joke at this stage, James.
Well, Drunks will find one through the vertical plane. He will drop down, but it's going to be Cypress who drops one of his own. Tries to go all the way in, but Elevate will take the round. Insanely aggressive hold coming out from them yet again. And this is looking like all Elevate right now. INTZ are coming close, but Elevate are just winning all the gunfights right now.
Yeah, I think we're on for a sweep. Big time. Now you get to go back to AVG, which again was an easy lockout round for Elevate. The only one that Elevate came close to losing was that trophy statuary. And even at that, they still, by some miracle, managed to pull away with that. So there's definitely some strange occurrences, and we'll see if they can try and push on in. But all eyes on INTZ, and they're just not here, James. They're not here tonight.
They just can't shoot back, it looks like. I mean, I can't think of many times they've actually managed to win a one-on-one gunfight. That hasn't just been a trade coming up from INTZ. You can't win the game like that. You have to get that man advantage. They're not going to bring the Nomad this time. They're going to bring the Decay Beat instead. Could be a good play. I guess it kind of depends if the Decay Beat's bringing smokes or frags here. We do still have some frags up on the table from Duds. I'll have a look what Elevate want to do to hold this, but I feel like it's going to be the same hold they did last time when they had that aggressive Aryan statue, but they also had that main stair shield with the rotate into sight. Yeah, it looks like he's going to be put it down again. And actually, I like this from Elevate. I mean, it plays into their playstyle well. Like, having a spread out defense is fine if you don't let them set up crossfires against you.
Setting up the exact same way, though, for Elevate. They have this aggressive wall being opened up. Sure, the shield, and then just Zion can go and play off as much as he wants. And also still sticking with the whole let's go for a roam game, let's play off site, let's have this trophy statuary set up. INTZ have sacked off the Thermite. They've kind of discovered that they don't really care. And talking about things that don't care, Zion, he's one of those people who just does not respect anything that INTZ are worth. He has just them, and whenever he goes home tonight, when he's at home, whenever he gets off playing tonight, he's gonna just pull out his back pocket, his keys, his wallet, and INTZ.
Basically, but on the other side, Miti is gonna find the first frag of the round. There goes Duds, but instantly traded out, but that's nades off the table now. Well, at least one set of them before in. Duds going down very early on. That's a great frag for Elevate. Definitely worthwhile for them as they continue to put on the pressure as well. But Elevate continue to strike back. Cypress was some very aggressive frags here. Phoenix, however, will put him down in the dirt. But Elevate are just constantly meeting them right now as Zion finds one of his own and they put it into a 2v3. And they have Diffuser as well.
Yeah, they do. They have that Diffuser, which is the big thing that the attackers need. There's one kill back. Squares it into a 2v2. But both of these attackers are pretty separated. Drunks has even managed to get his way upstairs, but the overpeak from Lev. And to be granted the Drunks, he's read into that quite well. And now it's down to Hell, see if he can fight his way through this, through thick and thin. He has been the kind of rock anchor for this team. And can he turn up when it matters most?
Well, we'll see if he does indeed do that. It's going to be throwing out one smoke. The Diffuser is actually still down in statue, but there is plenty of time left for INTZ to recover this Diffuser. Hopefully they do have drones top red somewhere, and Hell continuing to smoke out, making sure that he doesn't lose control. We've got to see onto 90 to see if there's anyone there. You'll find one, but oh, he's going to get so lit up. Not able to be too accurate with that whatsoever. Drunks is very, very low HP, but it's not going to matter, as INTZ will finally find their round on attack.
Yeah, just Elevate over-peaking a little bit. That kind of cost them. But still, it's a round nonetheless for INTZ, which they dearly needed to keep themselves alive. It's now round number 5 for INTZ. They still have the trophy statuary open for them, but they're going to stick with the AVG once more, feeling that they could try and hold that a lot better than they did, which is kind of like a shame to see Elevate not go for the sweep, because they looked as if they were kind of primed and ready to really make a statement. And remember, whoever wins this matchup plays against Liquid. You need to make sure you can show Liquid saying, we might not just be as easy as what you think we are.
So, again, another Aviator and Games Room defense coming through here for Elevate. We'll have a look at exactly how they want to hold this down, and it looks like kind of the same, honestly, from them. They have brought the Alibi, however, this time, and no smoke coming out from them this time, so a little bit different. Maybe no shield on that top main stairs. They have put the same shield down on the pool table, which I was kind of surprised by, because they didn't really use it that much. I really thought that that was where the smoke was going to retreat to in the kind of late round, but they haven't done that at all, and we'll see this time what Elevate want to do instead. They have put down that shield again, though, however, on top main stairs, but no longer bringing the smoke. I'm really intrigued why they haven't brought the smoke this time.
10 seconds remaining.
Perhaps they feel as if they want a little bit more aggression. That kind of did work for them in their kitchen defense. Whenever they brought the alibi in, smoke was off the table. They still are going with the Maestro, so they have some form of anchor, but the way that Lev has also been playing has been pretty aggressive towards that long corridor. Zion, again, another spawn peek for him. Just has to be careful, in case he does get picked off, and, well, he's managed to come away with his life. Just Zion, man, he's on like another planet, isn't he? He is the thing from the swamp.
He feels like he can't die. It feels like, honestly, he's just going for these mad
He's
aggressive
undead.
plays.
He's the undead.
He is the undead, it looks like.
It's pretty natural for him, though, isn't it? You could say supernatural.
Getting further through into round number 5. We'll have a look exactly how INTZ want to clear this. Last time they had a really successful clear coming out from Statue side. They seem to be a bit more spread out this time.
Bomb has been located.
They've only brought the Habana. They haven't brought the Thermite this time. Which I think is
They
interesting.
did this last time, and again, it worked whenever literally Elevate just threw themselves at the mercy of INTZ.
Yeah.
They have brought the Dokkaebi in place of the Thermite, which I kind of feel allows them to give a little bit more control and pressure Elevate just that tad bit, because it gives them some information, and it's kind of on the move information, because there hasn't been a whole lot of droning, I think, from any side, and it's always strange to see no droning on Villa. Instead, they're solely relying on the audio that you gain from the Dokkaebi calls. They're just holding the crossfire.
Oh
What a
my
peek from
God.
Valkyrie. Take a bow.
Chris is it's insane. He's really on one today, but it's going to be turned into a 3v5 as Lev finds one of his own, moves it into a 2v5. So down to VNX to Boar to try and bring it in, but no, there goes VNX. It's all down to Boar, the Habana. He's got a little bit of a sight line open for himself here. He's got 1 minute left to play with here, as well as 3 flashbangs and 1 X-Carra still remaining. This is not looking too good at all. He's in a 1v5, but he's got, as I said, plenty of time to work with here, but what? He just runs straight at him. Hell meets him head on. And Elevate take round number 5 and put themselves just so high up. If they take this next round, I think it's just going to be a clean sweep from them.
Yeah, it's just everything that Elevate are putting up is going completely against the grain that INTZ are trying to follow through. INTZ have looked a lot more slower and methodical. It means they try and play a lot more standard and basic. Very different to what the rest of the LATAM region plays like, which is kind of the embodiment of Elevate strategy, which is aggressive, in your face, want to make sure you can't get anything on the board. INTZ are trying to play like a European team. Take it nice and slow, try and make sure everything's droned out, and then just go for the site execute. Elevate are not allowing them to do so. And I don't know if INTZ just need to go for the full roamer hunt. It could be different for like a team to change their entire play style. There's a lot of ifs and maybes we can throw around, but for the most part, just Elevate, they have always had that 1 foot in the door. Whereas you look at INTZ, they've had 1 foot in the grave.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean, I said that like Elevate had been really aggressive, but consistently being able to get trades on an attacker force on Villa means you're constantly taking attacker utility away. It's going to be very, very hard for them to continue to have that. And attacker utility is just what you need right now. Elevate, interestingly, even though Statue is available to them, they are going to go downstairs to the kitchen.
Okay. So definitely that trophy did scare them quite a bit. Whenever it came that close.
Yeah, it was very close, and this was a much better site for them, to be fair. So
Yeah, it was like, really solid.
yeah. This allowed them to play a lot more aggressive around that tiny top floor area and just waste time. And we saw, once they were satisfied they wasted enough time that they could, they just dropped off, and we saw the alibi rotate accordingly there. And again, same lineup coming out from
Just looking
Elevate.
for some drones. Let's be careful he doesn't get pushed into the oven.
He's just full of references today.
Do you know which reference that is? You get it? Which reference?
Yeah.
You don't look happy. You look very disgusted.
Look, it's, sometimes puns just get to me.
Why don't you
know?
try and hit some puns, I've seen you've hit some puns in your time.
All right, I'll have a think and I'll get
Just
back to you.
sit on it. Just have a little chill time and see what's the best you can come up with. And if it's horrific, well, the more horrific, the better, actually.
Sure. Yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Exactly. So INTZ, they have already got themselves in Aviator, and since this is an area that, surprisingly, Elevate, they haven't went for the full map control, even though they're a team that could try and attempt that, knowing their aggressive natures. They have played a lot more passive in towards, but just the wide swing from the Valkyrie. Cypress, man, he needs to be stopped, doesn't he?
He's a madman. He really just doesn't care. He wide peek absolutely anything that he can right now. Drunks, however, will hit the alibi and get tricked out a little bit there. As we'll see, Vince has actually managed to make his way into the mudroom. Cypress, however, with a nitro will find one, and there goes Mitz as well. Zion will find him. It's all down to Duds and Board to try and bring this in right now in a 4v2. And Elevate are looking very dominant so far. It is still very, very winnable for INTZ. They've got plenty of time to work with, as well as a decent amount of utility, and they do stick together with the diffuser as well. So it's going to be slowly crouch walking his way into Boar, seeing what he can do, but they're running out of time right now, and time is definitely on Elevate's side.
Okay, INTZ. How do you pull back from yet again another whitewash for Elevate? They have thrown you in the dryer, and they're just leaving you to hang. So Elevate, you have control. Still more goo mines as well being made by Zion to try and cover off towards that bedroom side of things. Drone comes in for the first time. I think that's the first drone we've actually ever seen from INTZ. And they're both going to entry in towards bicycle storage. I still don't think this is going to work for them one bit.
This is seeing how it goes down. Move into mudroom, and they move into lounge as well. But he loses the fight to the alibi, and we'll see the double kill come through as well. No, it's going to be Hell who TK'd him and finds the kill as well. Wow, what a plot twist! Wow. Hell really doesn't care about his teammates, so wow, that's unfortunate. Elevate are looking absolutely fabulous right now. All they need is 2 more rounds, and they'll bring in the series for themselves, and they'll find themselves in the semifinals against Liquid if they do so. But this is a very defender-sided Villa right now. Like, Villa is already very defender-sided, but with the Capitao off the board, that does make it very, very difficult. And we've already seen that INTZ cannot shut down Elevate whatsoever in their gunfights. It seems like Elevate, they shouldn't even need to get stuff open because they've been able to force their entry with just by winning gunfights straight up.
Elevate are currently 26 and 4 in terms of their round differences. Like, you know, we kind of expect the stomp against Lanchados, a team which is tier 3, and then you look at Elevate, who are a Pro League team. Now this is 2 Pro League teams. INTZ are currently sat higher than Elevate on the standings. And now it's just been the exact same thing pretty much for Elevate. A very simple match that they've just been able to rack up the kills and rack up the points against.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, Elevate did defeat INTZ in the last time that these guys went against each other. In Pro League, anyway. So, you know, you would just think that this should be all INTZ right now, but they just cannot respond to what is going on. And again, I just want to bring up that point. We have not seen them, I don't think, win just a single one of these one-on-one gunfights, really, just like straight up gunfight. It's been all Elevate right now on that side. We'll have a look how the rest of this is going to go down. Don't forget now, INTZ are going to move on to a very defender-sided Villa. Hopefully they should be able to pick it up, but Elevate are looking strong right now. And don't forget, as well, this is a very momentum-based region. And I think Elevate they're feeling really good right now, moving into this.
Now they get to go on the attack. Bringing the Jackal on board, it makes a lot of sense for a big map like Villa, which has a copious amount of rooms and corridors and twists and turns, and there is a lot of rooms on Villa. Like, the amount of, like, the kind of corridors, like passageways that lead into other rooms, and then rooms joined onto rooms, and it's just so big. That entire basement, which doesn't really get affected that much, and as we hark on about Jackal, he's gone. He's moved on.
Rest in peace.
Was that your pun?
Yes.
Oh. James, come on now. I expected better.
Well, it's going to be already a 4v5 situation. As you said, Jackal already off the board. That's going to eliminate Elevate's kind of heavy roam clear strategy that they've been going for. as we'll see them do take over control of Asher. They've got plenty of time to work with, however, and they managed to force quite a lot of the roamers out of this side of the map, this north side of the area, that we saw that INTZ had a lot of issues trying to clear when Elevate did defend here. So things actually still looking good for Elevate, as Cypress can move into Boar and see what he can do there.
Still, control I feel for Elevate, because they have took half of the map so far. Still, no response from INTZ. They're playing it a lot more passive, because at this stage for Elevate, if they were on the defense, they'd be wide swinging everybody they could get their hands on. Still, for Elevate, they've taken what they need to try and carry out their push. Ooh. Don't have a banner though. C4 has managed to eliminate her off the rappel, and that was going to be their main way of getting into Vault. So that's a big spanner in the works.
And that's not good at all, but they should be able to still force that entry. Cypress is actually going to go for the prone peek here. Zion's Claymore is going to find one, and it is going to bring it into a 3v3 even situation now, as Hell going to be making his way in. Surely he's got to know there's someone in here, otherwise that is really poor droning. And no, he's not going to know. Oh no, he does peek it around. He does manage to find Drunks. There we go. Vitz finds Cypress as well, however. And we have brought into a 2v2, but there's not long time left. Zion's going to try and force his entry. He does! What a kill from Zion! He finds another one. No, he won't. Valkyrie will trade him out. And it's all down to Hell to try and bring this in. He's got to know he's in Vault right now. He's going to try and peek which way left it's going to be. He is going to light her up. VNX very, very low HP right now. 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Flashbang's going to go out, but the Idiot is going to catch it. He's going to hit a Nomad Edge up. They're going to know that he was flanking in Study. And the Nitro's going to come out as well onto the flank. And Hell goes down. And what a clutch from VNX as he brings it in for INTZ.
Oh my!
So smart.
Well, looks as if Dr. Frankenstein has made an appearance here tonight, because that is a 10 million IQ play from the Valkyrie. Oh my, and it gives INTZ something to go away with and say, hey, that was pretty good. Now can they replicate that? Can they keep that momentum now onto their side of the pitch and push forward?
I think a big kind of round-winning play there was the Nitro onto the Habana. I mean, even, okay, yeah, you could say that the literal round-winning play was VNX getting that nice Nitro at the end, but that was only a 1v1.
Yeah.
VNX being allowed to play in the Vault like that only happened because the Habana was dead.
Exactly. That was like the big thing that we kind of mentioned was, hey, they've just lost their Hard Breacher, who was specifically positioned to give their entryway into Vault, because if you do push from the Trophy Statuary side, you have no intention of taking control of Study. You are solely going for the Vault wall and then trying to push them all out from there.
Well, it's going to be a lot to do for Elevate here, but honestly, this should be really good for Elevate because all they need to do is win both of the offsite attacks, and they're golden. They don't even need to win the core sites that hard, but they should start to try and close this out as soon as possible, and so that they don't lose that momentum. But otherwise, you know, this is looking really, really good for them. That 5-2 scoreline, of course, just a couple of rounds away from closing out the series. Let's have a look at INTZ and what they want to do on their defense. I like this Mute Mozzie combo, but as we said, like, Elevate haven't really even been relying on the droning coming through from them that far. I mean, they do have the Jackal on the board as well as the Nomad, so already they have a lot of info just purely out of their operators.
That is a bit of a slowdown now for Elevate, but they're looking to try and keep that fire burning with a very hot entry towards the Study, so they're switching up again their ideas and will try and go for a Study take straight on in towards the rappel, and I wouldn't be surprised if they'll be in the bomb site very shortly. Zion is over towards that Trophy Statuary side, also being assisted by Lev, so both of them are going to try and entry in straight up through the breach, while everybody else tries to push in from the AVG side and just walk their way in probably through the doorways.
Yeah, Fluke called this the hammer and anvil strategy yesterday, and I definitely agree with that. Like, you have the anvil on one side ready to catch all the roamers, and you have the anvil on one side ready to just kind of push against it. So
I prefer the axe and chainsaw.
Axe and chainsaw, that works too as well. Nice pun.
Thank you.
So 1 minute in, and Elevate already gained a decent amount of control. They should be able to get control over this complete north side of the map. Sooner rather than later, Edge Abs are going to go down onto the other side as Elevate begins to clear out Aviator as well as tracking out the Mozzie.
Wall's been opened in a very strange fashion, so we don't know what's happened there, but it doesn't look fun. Still, there's roamers towards that AVG for INTZ and Elevate. still waiting for their opportune moment to make this push a success. Somebody also repelling towards that 90 window. And I think that's just for Hell to kind of give the pressure so nobody else can try and assist the Mozzie.
Whoa.
There's one kill on each side. Cypress does eliminate Duds, but then Drunks has got the kill onto Zion in the other side of the map. So that's Mozzie gone. That was the first man up, and it does give Elevate that main way in towards the AVG. So really, if you're Elevate, you're just looking for picks. You're looking for INTZ to try and give themselves away, and it's up to the attackers on the AVG side to try and force all the defenders into the sightlines that Lev is trying to hold.
So, we'll see how Elevate continue to go down, but yeah, you're completely right. They're going to try and move in here and do what they can. Nitro is still available on the board here from Drunks, and looks like he is below to try and flank up red stairs and do what he can there, but no, the Maestro going to start to push through to Astro. Cypress trying to do what he can onto the ball side, but VNX is in sight! What? How do you not realize he's there? VNX does go down eventually, but Cypress gets traded out. And now all of a sudden it's all down to Lev to try and bring in. Drunks finishes off Cypress, of course, in that trade. And Lev is all alone. He does have Diffuser, but he's only got 15 seconds left to work with in the round if he wants to try and bring this in. He finds one worse shot. Fitz goes down. Now it's a 2v1. It's still very, very winnable for him. But he's got to move very, very quickly. He's going to lead with the barbed wire as well, because quickly peeking around. But no, the Maestro will shut him down. Instinct round number 8. Things looking a little bit better for them, but now they've got to go to the offsite. And this is where Elevate need to bring in the round. The big worry here, though, is that... So say that Elevate have to win at least one of these rounds, right? Then they confirm in overtime, at least. If we go to overtime, I believe since Elevate got to pick the side of this map, INTZ get to pick the OT side, and we'll guess that they've picked defense for their OT. So now you're thinking that this, if we do go to overtime, INTZ should be able to bring this in. But this is still going to be an uphill challenge. This round is going to be very definitive now.
I would like to see a little more aggression from Elevate. I feel as if they've taken the foot off the gas pedal. They just need to slam that as hard as they can and just entry into the bomb site. We know they're better fraggers compared to INTZ. They've shown that throughout the course of the match. Everything that Elevate have kind of put towards INTZ, they've fallen under the pressure of. Why don't they just go for the rush? I really see little downside to going for it. I just feel as if Elevate are that team who could just force their way in, win their gunfights. And we know that INTZ, they have roamers. We looked at the massive roam game that they tried to set up. More than likely, for a kitchen hold, you will also go for another room setup towards the top floor, just like Elevate did. Like every team does, you need to defend the upstairs away from the attack.
Yeah, no, you definitely do, but
Activating camera.
we'll have a look what INTZ wants to do on their defense here. They have brought Pulse, which I do like the addition of here. I'm kind of surprised they didn't bring a Mozzie this time, although Mozzie didn't really do that much, and, you know, the droning hasn't exactly been efficient from either of these teams right now. So we'll have a look at how this is going to be going down as we move into round number 9. I like this kind of long angle held by Drunks here.
So INTZ, 3 players upstairs. Oh, there's another one. There's Duds also. Oh, but 2 have just left. So they've kind of jebaited me. I don't like that. Why are you jebaiting me? You make me look like a fool. Never mind. I can do that on my own. There's the first blood, though, for Duds on the Cypress. Is that just a lucky wall bang? Perhaps. It could have been. Trying to play these bullet holes that have been made. Has to be careful, though. Oh,
he's gonna get one!
Gets it as well!
Oh
Duds,
my god.
madman!
Oh, he's going to find one. Drunks is going to find one on the other side, and already, not even a minute into the round, and Elevate find themselves in a 5v2. Very aggressive coming up from INTZ across the board, and they've got a lot of control still to work with. Elevate, however, I'm going to start to work it back, as Zion does go down, but does get traded, of course, by Boars. All done to Hell in a 1v4 to try and bring this in. He's got plenty of utility to work with here, but doesn't have the diffuser. But it's plenty of time.
Hell, now to clutch it up. Nope, doesn't even come close. And Duds, oh, he handled that round with scare, didn't he?
Great flick from Duds there at the end to close it out for a 3k from himself. And INTZ looking very, very good all of a sudden. So we could definitely see an overtime here on Villa. And honestly, I feel like if we see an overtime, it's gonna go the way of INTZ, since they do have that defense. So we'll go to an Aviator room and Games room defense here. We're back to basics. Elevate are falling apart right now, and they seem to be very, very heavily struggling with this. This was the closest attack that Elevate had, though.
Yeah, the AVG, it came right down to a clutch C4 from the Valkyrie. But can the Valkyrie recreate that magic? I don't know what's happened to Elevate here. They have just fallen off. I just think they need to go all in with the aggressive playstyle. That's what they need to go for. Don't give INTZ this kind of comfort zone. Try and get in there. Try and burst that bubble as fast as you can. Still no changes from Elevate's lineup. It's been the exact same right the way through. I would just want to see one of them the Ash. Just let him go off on one. Like, what do you lose from it?
To be fair, I think Cypress has been way better on the entry of Zofia. Like, we saw him in Clubhouse just get some insane entries that he should not have been able to get. That 3K especially comes to mind when he pushed Armory. So, I still believe in the Elevate comeback. They need one round for sure to try and bring this into OT, but even then, it's going to be an uphill battle if they do make it there. This is like the only site that was very, very, very close for Elevate that they definitely could have won here, but it just came to that last second clutch. But also losing the Habana was pretty dangerous indeed. I'm kind of surprised that Elevate haven't decided to bring a Thermite or just bring 2 hard breaches, because that seems to be a big issue for them, is losing that Habana.
See how things now progress on, as there is still, like, a multitude of things Elevate have to go up against. You have Maestro cameras, Valkyrie cameras, which there's no IQ being brought by either team this evening, and Valkyrie has been on the board both times around, and she is like that ultimate operator who counters like a lot of ops. She counters Pulse, Valkyrie, Legions as well. And speaking of Valkyrie, she strikes first. Mighty has spot out the Pulse, but hasn't really pounced in the opportune moment to try and go for the frags, but Drunk, he does start to get wall banged away and drops downstairs. But that ping actually caught him mid-drop, so now they know he has went downstairs.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to ping him as well. Mighty's going to try and push it all, but no! Oh, the UMP push comes through! Oh, the timing
Pistol.
As he went for it. The pistol comes out from Drunks, and Mighty does go down, and Cypress, however, is going to be able to find Duds. Should be able to find one more. Should be able to find Drunks down here as well. But Elevate is so obsessed with this. What? Drunks with the pistol headshot to Cypress, and that's going to take him right off the board. It's going to be a 4v2 now. Still very winnable for Elevate. They've got plenty of time to work with here, but Drunks has just been doing the work.
Bomb located by attackers.
My word, someone sign him up to be a hitman, because he's just hit 2 of them with a pistol, but he should be pinched out here. Hell, you just heard him toss the C4 right beside you, and Lev, he cleans it up nonetheless. Still, a lot of things to go through for Elevate. They have the hard breach on their side, which is the only thing going for them, but if there is a mute jammer beside that reinforced single wall, which we know is their ideal location to try and push, then they could have issues. But rather than going for that south side, instead they will go for the main study and potentially try and open up in towards the quad wall.
Yeah, potentially could do that indeed. Elevate do begin to start to push up a little bit more, however, as Hell making his way through onto steady side. Flashbangs are going to go out, but that's going to miss. What he does intentionally do that, we'll never know really for sure. Lev is going to try and open up this backside of the bar, however, they are a 3v2, and oh, I like this, opening up both of the angles here on this backside of bar to try and force an entry. However, that vault angle is still being played, but behind the bar, it is going to be Vitz who finds Hell. It's all down to Lev to try and bring this in, but only 15 seconds left to go on the clock. He still has all 3 flashbangs, however, but no, he's not going to be able to find the kill, and INTZ will take round number 10, looking like a much more dominant play, but Drunks just doing all the work downstairs.
Wow, they've actually pulled this off. They've woken up, they've awakened from their slumber, and fair play to INTZ. They have shown up when it matters on these past 4 defenses. There's nothing that Elevate has really done that's like exemplary. I think this kind of shows like how strong defense in Villa is, and well, for INTZ, you just gotta boo what you just gotta boo.
Nice, nice. So we're going to be moving into the trophy statutory room defense instead now for INTZ, and things have been pretty even up for them so far. Completely flawless defense from them. Elevate really needs to step it up if they want to bring it in, and they're going to be bringing the Dokkaebi instead now. So the Dokkaebi Jackal combo, I think, is good as well, because the roam game from INTZ has been devastating. Oh. Finka.
This is what we wanted to see. This is exactly what Elevate want, is the rush potential. And I'm guessing that's probably what they're going for with this. It makes a lot of sense to bring the Finka on like those quick rushes because it gives you that health boost, it gives you that aim that you just fire, don't have to worry about controlling recoil. Nades as well, always come in handy as we know. And if you look at how Elevate attacked this one last time, they did have a go at the room game. They lost some bodies for it. If they realize that INTZ are going to go for the same setup, there is nothing stopping them rushing in bomb site and holding off the defenders. There's nothing stopping them, and I assume that's what they're going to try and attempt to go for.
Well, we'll see if that is going to be the case. As INTZ are going to go down in Astro, and we'll have a look exactly what INTZ want to do here for their defense. But things seem pretty similar to what they were doing last time. Although, you know, like, the Finka could be a good call here because there's no smoke up from INTZ. They have brought the Legion, however. Plus, this Mute Mozzie combo has made an appearance once again, as well as just setting up impact tricking from Vitz.
Okay, Elevate. How will they coordinate their attack? Looks as if they're going to go for the rush. All of them now spawn towards that northeast section of the map, so that does tell us that they're not going to try and hunt the roamers. Straight away on the astronomy window is where Hell will try and play his hand. And Cypress just hops on in, so they will try and pinch the man out in towards the table. Nade gets cooked, but I'm sure NADS will be there to eat that up.
Yeah, the yes, is right next to the Astro window. Has managed to pick it up, but there's no one in Astro anymore right now. So this is a great opportunity for Cypress to move in and get some frags as well as some control as he tries to push all the way in. But no, Ball is just going to eliminate him. There goes Cypress. And the Jekyll tracking has come out. But Elevate not looking like a good position right now. Just see the Jaeger, but doesn't manage to take him out just yet. Morphash is going to continue to go down. Zlev finds one, but no! The fight will come through onto that doorway as Vitz will find one. And we'll go for the prone Pete. This is very aggressive coming out so far from INTZ across the board.
Still low for Elevate. They are applying a lot of pressure towards the main bomb site. But as I'm sure INTZ have realized, they have no intention of trying to take out the roamers, and they can try and hold these angles. And quite similar to what we've seen Elevate do in their defense, this is a similar play style. Just, it means that nobody playing in bomb site, it gives Elevate no kills. If you try and go for the plant, it's a risky one, because first of all, you take a man out trying to go for the diffuser. They are inside sight, but as we know, INTZ, this is what they want to go for, and C4s, they will land its target, sends him flying, but there is Mighty with the refrag, and now a 2 versus 3.
There's no control right now for INTZ over the site itself, and they're out of C4s as well. They're going to have to try and force their way back into the site. Plant should start to go down from Lev right now. He's just going to bait out and see what he can do, but this is not looking good.
Man on the backstairs. He is completely unchecked, and he can try and put an end to this. Mighty does eliminate the Mute as he tries to wide swing in, and there's the man from the backstairs, like we talked about. Jaeger pushing through bathroom. Oh, but Mighty still wins that nonetheless. A 1 versus 1. He sees the man in the other bomb site. Both of them so close to death, but Mighty still has some smokes, which he is going to toss out. Oh, the pre-fire tries to be established by the Legion. A Goo Mine as well will be able to take him out. Oh, through the smoke. Mighty eliminates him. What a round from Jackal. What a round.
That is a round that Elevate
4K for him?
Sorely needed. Yeah, it looks like it was. I think the way that INTZ played that, they played that way too passively. They were trying to hold the offsite when they only had 1 C4. They had plenty of info. They had that Maestro up in Trophy as well.
I like that setup, though, from INTZ. The only blunder that cost them that was whenever Jaeger went up for his room game, why didn't the other 2 guys jump on to the remaining member in sight whenever they knew for a fact that Habana was gone? It's just the one guy in the heart of the bomb site. Why don't we just see a wide swing? There was no coordination, lack of communication there from INTZ, and that is the real reason why they lost that round.
Well, Elevate, regardless, aren't going to secure that overtime for themselves, but they are 1 round away from bringing this series in right now. Things are looking much, much better for them right now, as we'll go to a trophy statutory yet again. But Elevate have looked phenomenal in that last round. Definitely a complete different change-up from what we've seen previously from them, as INTZ looking to bring the same lineup, except they haven't brought the Mute this time, they brought the Valkyrie. I think the Valkyrie's a nice addition to this lineup.
Yeah, it just gives you that information, doesn't it? You always need information, and there is a copious amount of that. Bringing the Maestro and even Mozzie, if he can capture a drone, can provide some information. Also, INTZ will set up towards the AVG. Elevate not bringing the Finka, so we're expecting a much more reserved playstyle, not the same aggression as what they kind of brought out. But that aggression was like the only round that they have won the attack. Strange to see them come off it.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. We'll have a look. It is match point, of course, to Elevate. I think this Dokkaebi, I'm not really sure if it's been that effective or not, but since they brought it, they did win. So you could say, in a way, it is good, but I don't think they win it because of the Dokkaebi. We'll have a look how it's going to go down for Elevate, but things so far, now they've regained that momentum, should be better for them. Although it was a very, very, very close round. It could easily go either way. Mighty could be bringing that sledge this time instead of the Jack.
See how the round takes place. An Elevate. Oh. Okay.
Okay.
What is this?
I think he's trying to like
a drone first.
Yeah.
Why?
Like it.
This is gonna be fun, isn't it?
I haven't seen this before.
Right, here he goes. Just like, you know, he's just waiting for the pitch. Hey, bada bada ba swing.
Does this actually work? Where is this nade going? Oh yeah, it does work! Oh wow, okay. Wow, yeah, and that's gonna be Cypress takes bits off the board. What a nade from
Still,
Mighty.
no nades left though, no kills from it, just simply being able to open up the wall to stop the man from impact tricking. That's really good. I've never seen that before, and there's another kill pretty much for Elevate. They've downed the Maestro, but there's still a refrag. Those VNX is lurking downstairs. Oh, the quick swing around from Mozzie. That has put it into a 3-on-3.
Oh, well, as you say, that 3v2 will make the work happen. Cypress does go down as the main entry fragger from Elevate gone. And it's all down to Mighty and Lev to try and bring this in from Elevate. Still very, very possible, still very clutchable. There's no X-Cards left, but still 3 flashbangs, and they still have that control that they need to try and make this work. Mighty going to try and make his way up onto Astro stairs as well. There's the Habana pushing through up on the other side. Will burn the ADS. Mighty will move in. Doesn't have any nades left remaining, sorry. As he'll push up with the SMG-11. Got to be expecting the flank. However, the Nitro from below will take one off the board. And it's all down to Mighty, but he won't be able to bring it in. INTZ will take round number 12. And they'll send us to overtime right now. And I believe INTZ will start out defensive.
So that is a 5-1 split from both sides. Defense being the big part, and now we get to see overtime, and it will be Elevate on the attack. So the only round that actually worked for them was the aggressive lineup. Why don't we just see that again? You know, why go back to the same old formula that clearly doesn't work? Doesn't work against them. Just go for the frags.
True. I mean, don't forget this is INTZ's map pick, so things should start to go well for them. And we have seen, you know, they've won most of their defenses. Elevate's won most of their defenses, and now INTZ are going to get 2 defenses at least if they do need them. And, you know, Elevate have shown that they can win attacks, but so have INTZ, and, you know, Elevate, they really need this round if they want to bring this in. But we'll have a look at how this is going to be going down. It's going to be an Aviator Games Room attack so far. Elevate, the first time they attacked it was actually very, very close, but the second time, not so close. It was a complete slaughterfest, really, in the form of INTZ. We'll see how things go down. I think, really, from INTZ as well, since they bring this Valkyrie, it's been way, way better for them in terms of aggressive peeking and having that info up.
Yeah, information is like a big thing, isn't it? Still no IQ from Elevate, even though that has been like the big thing that's like kind of been costing them is some of those Valkyrie cam replacements. So they will set up for Trophy Statuary offsite hold as well, similar to what Elevate did. Also bringing an Alibi, another operator that was featured heavily in the Elevate selection. Still, no, like, it's the exact same bland old lineup from Elevate. There's nothing new there, nothing that shows us that they're going to try and give something else a go. It's really, really tough to kind of look at it and think, you know, why, if you're losing 5 rounds in defense, why wouldn't you try and change something up? The one time you did change it, you gotta win from it. You know, but then again, maybe it's just Elevate and their confidence that we know that they kind of shine through, and, well, see if they can try and reap another soul in the form of INTZ.
It's kind of just your play style. I think like some teams like don't need to adapt. They just kind of know that their thing will work. They just made some small mistakes, and Elevate have definitely been making mistakes during their attack. Let's have a look how things are going to be moving through for their attack as we move into overtime. So we're around number 13, and this is decisive now. Elevate need this round at least if they want to try and bring this in. So far have been looking pretty dominant during their defenses though. And again, like both teams, sorry, have been playing this pretty aggressively on their own defense, which is kind of weird for Villa as well. Looking at that generally.
Still a room game though for INTZ. They've kind of fallen back from the entire trophy statuary hold just to try and slow down Elevate as much as they can, but there is that Jaeger lurking downstairs who is going to be like that next thing they need to deal with, because he's very potent now to be in a great position to either rotate up all 3 staircases. Like, there's nothing stopping that man coming all the way around to Astronomy and come up the flank of Elevate, and they don't bring like a lot of flank protection on that side of the map specifically because they place their nomad traps in towards like the study to stop the runouts from that side of the things. And well, hell, on that window, he has been able to eliminate the first pick, but there's the man that we mentioned who can cause an issue, but a great refrag though, great cover from Mighty, and really does is probably thinking, why are you there? He's in.
But Cypress is going to be making his way into the site. Vitz goes down, but instantly is going to get traded out by VNX. He managed to clutch it around before on the Valkyrie. He's done so well so far. It's going to be a double kill from him on the round. Zion goes down. It's all down to 11 Mighty once again to try and bring this in. But it's a 2v2. We've still got Boar on the Maestro. He's moved around to study instead, and he's going to clear this out. He's going to let the Valkyrie know there's only one side they can now push from. Elevate. They're running out of time right now, but they have plenty of utility up on remaining. Oh, what a shot as well from Mighty. Puts him down in the dirt. And it's all down to Boar to try and bring this in. And Airjab just get detonated, but Boar recovers it and he gets back up. Mighty just go down and injured. It's all down to Lev to make sure he can secure this round. Boar looking to try and confirm this kill right now. He's going to know there's an injury come through. Flashbangs are going to come through as well. And Lev is actually going to revive him as well. They're going to go for the plant potentially here as Boar desperately trying to play around this. 15 seconds left to go on the clock, and Boar is just going to be playing his life very, very patiently. He's waiting until that plant desperately has to go down. He's going to go for the peak, but Elevate take him down, and that may just be map and series 1 right there. Elevate again and put themselves onto match point in overtime with their second ever attack win. Now they've got the defense, now they've got the easy part, but INTZ have actually shown up on their own attack before.
I have to give credit to Boar. Being able to win that gunfight against the Jackal, hip fire actually killed that man.
Yeah.
Just as soon as he could press mouse 1, he was pressing it, and well, what a shot it must have been. But still, Elevate. Match point, they broke the curse, they lifted it, and now they get to go on the Mighty defense to an AVG, but, here's the but, this is a bomb site that INTZ have won.
First time we've seen a Lion this series as well, coming out from Vitz. We'll have a look how that's going to be going down, but Hell going to be ringing the alibi once again on this Aviator Games Room defense. But, I mean, they tend to do the same thing here, especially I really actually like this main stairs shield. I think this is really good aggressive shield. We have seen the Bandit of Zion be able to play off that very aggressively and just be able to get a triple kill there. Previously, when they first held here, this is looking really good for Elevate so far, but INTZ have proven themselves in the attack. They've made a bit of an adaptation change in bringing the line for the first time this series. So we'll have a look how successful that is for them. But so far, things have been very, very defender-sided.
10 seconds to go.
Elevate, how can you finish off the game? Setting up towards that trophy statuary, which is pretty standard from Elevate and what they've went for. They have that shield and that alibi being brought, so I'm sure that same aggressive standpoint with that deployable. Yes, and it's going to be the exact same setup, so allow Zion to have a little bit more say, and he can really unleash all of that power he has. Well, the drone's now being pre-placed by INTZ, so they have a fair idea where Elevate are setting up to, and it has been a while since INTZ has to go on the attack. It was 7 rounds in a row. We've seen them on the defense. Now they revert back to the attack, and that's a great start.
Great pre-fire coming out from Duds there. It's going to take Mighty off the board. He's definitely been a big shower-up for Elevate here. But one kill does not make it a win, but it is a great start coming out. Zion here prepped with the C4, it looks like. Or is this just a visual glitch? There we are. He is prepped with the C4 there. That man is crazy that he would sit there in front of the door with a C4.
Still that roam game from Elevate. They are not playing on site whatsoever. Oh!
Again, the same nade that he did last time as well, the first time they attacked it.
Has he dressed up as a baseball player?
Potentially. He's definitely making the throws work. Line charge is going to go out, and Dud's kind of just gone AFK here for a second. We'll see what he wants to do. But
what's he doing?
He's just thinking about things, and, well, all thoughts are going to go well for insofar as Duds find himself a triple kill on the round. It's all down to Cypress to try and bring this in. The line charge is going to go out. The peak comes through, and it's going to be a flawless attack from INTZ coming out as we push into round number 15. Elevate are back on that attack, and it is not looking good for them to bring in the series.
What? That was so quick. And that was an INTZ round as well. They got that first opening pick, which I think gave them that spur on just to keep pushing forward. And now we go back all even for the final round of this map. INTZ, AVG for them. Elevate did win this last time. Really close, though. Really close for INTZ to actually snatch it away. Elevate need to try and reproduce the magic that they had in that last time.
Yeah, the two times we've seen Elevate attack this so far, they both got brought down to 1v1s, and yeah, this has been a very, very close attack, it looks like, but when you see the smoke being brought off, there's going to be the Drunks Bandit instead being brought through. It's going to be near the Aviator defense coming through for INTZ. Things are very up in the air right now, because this has been very, very defender-sided, but if anything, Elevate can definitely start to bring this in. No matter what, the winner of this round will take map number 2. Whether that is going to be series ending or not is going to be purely into the hands of Elevate. We'll have a look what they want to do here as INTZ start the set. And I feel like VNX has been a really big savior here from INTZ.
It has been. Big time. You know, I kind of think that like standout performances is always something that we look at. How many times have we seen like individual players like specifically win teams matches? Like all the time.
7 right now, and Drinks
like,
is
all
also
the time.
Done the work as well himself.
What's happened with Zion? He did a really good start, and he's just fallen off now.
Yeah, well, he had his round, and that's all he needs to do. You know, he got his frags. No, default cams are going to be destroyed. His Elevate begin their attack onto Aviator, and again, kind of going for this hammer and anvil strategy. So we'll see how that is going to be working out for them. But last time, Elevate just got completely rolled over here during regulation, and honestly, in overtime as well, they were getting rolled by that Valkyrie, just playing aggressively around that vault entrance. So hopefully, Elevate do not choke it out this time, but things going slowly for them at the start as they gain control of this north side of the map.
So an interesting setup from Elevate this time around, because they're looking to really go for the hunt. Previously for Elevate, they've kind of been like back and forth about where they've wanted to push, but the majority of Elevate is towards this northeast side of the map, and they're just looking to try and win it from like the first couple of engagements. Generally, the attackers, as soon as they open up and they go to like a 5 versus 3 lead, we never see them let that slip, and that's exactly the playstyle Elevate are going to try and attempt.
I like this positioning from Vitz, but Mighty from below is going to try and shotgun out the wall, making sure that no one can play there at all. As, oh, Duds is actually going to score a kill, opening kill of the round. Zion already down and out of it. That's the Thatcher down, but Habana should be able to get some stuff open here up onto that statue wall. But this is a very slow kill coming out from Elevate. They need to start stepping it up, and they need a frag on the board if they want to try and bring it in for themselves. Cypress could be trying to clear out from statue side and just peeking through that prone hole. Is Mighty still downstairs? He's still got that control.
Hell also covering crossfires and trying to catch anybody who tries to flee, but all of them are gone anyway, so it doesn't even matter. There's nobody that Hell is holding for. Only a minute to go with Elevate. They have only just decided to get in the actual building. No headway on site, no kills, no nothing. This is going to be thick for, I think, anybody to go for. You look at the entire density that INTZ now have in terms of utility usage, go your mind. Actually gets a kill. That's always fun to see. Not if you're Elevate, though.
And it's going to be a 3v5 right now. Elevate not looking too good here. Only 35 seconds left to go on the clock to try and bring this in. And no X-Carrots left remaining for the left to try and open up that vault wall. So There's going to have to be a very aggressive play coming through these very tiny doorways to try and make something happen. They've only got 20 seconds left to go on the clock. Elevate are kind of stumbling all over the place right now to try and make an entry happen. The Legion White Peak comes through, and that may just be good night. Mighty finds one, but he's going to find 4 more if he wants to bring this in. This seems like an impossible task. He doesn't have Diffuser, doesn't have a huge amount of utility remaining either. He's going to try and get an exit frag here as he pulls out the Legion Mine, but yeah, this looks completely over for Elevate, as INTZ will send us to bank.
Wow. INTZ were 5-1 down, and they've pulled it back with an 8-7 win. That's something we don't see every day, but still, we move to map number 3, guys, and stay with us. We'll keep